Hey up, Steve lad. How's it going? That rapid stuff was good tack. As you can see, did well today. So don't think we're actually going to get this this last step in, which is what we were being very optimistic about. But yeah, went really well that rapid set. Anyway, just let me show you what's going on, and then I'm going to get out of Paul's way because I'm actually leaving now for school pickup. It's just gone 4:30, so Paul's going to finish off. But yeah, just one step left tomorrow morning, and then we'll start prepping. Last step's obviously a bit different because last step ties in after this next step. Last step ties in with the roof upstairs as well, so it's a slightly different form to this one. But yeah, Paul's gonna cast the brick at the back, cast the brick at the front, concrete that bit in that we've just finished doing. He's gonna see how far through doing the next set of holes he gets through, and then when he feels like it, he will chip off and we'll meet back here tomorrow morning. But yeah, happy with the progress today. Went really well. I'm not going to get in his way too much, but just to show you, this was the rapid drying cement. As you can see, went off really well, went off better than the other cement. It's probably harder already. You can probably see by the greying. It's harder than the cements we've done the last 3 days already. So real good tack. It was worth it. And I'll give you another video tomorrow. Whatever point. A lot of today I got here, I don't know quite off the top of my head. This afternoon anyway, it wasn't super early. Paul had put in 1, 2, 3 holes all over there, and obviously built up all of the step. I'll take it over there now so you can see it a bit better. And then once he'd done all that and we were ready to start putting beams in, he gave me a call. So obviously we've put that row in, that row in. We're going to leave it for tonight to allow that to set up a little bit more, and we need to build that corner up before we start making more holes. So just to show you where we're at today. So tomorrow we'll have a bigger day of putting beams in. I'm here all day and Paul's here all day. So like I said, Paul's been here all day today, and I came in for roughly an hour this morning, help him get going, and then I came in I think about 4 o'clock, and it's about 6:45 now. So like I said, I haven't been here a terrible amount of time today. Paul's done most of the work on his own, so yeah, kind of just came in when it was ready to put the beams up. Alright mate, we'll both be here from the morning anyway tomorrow, so we'll crack on and get on with it. We'll be able to put all the beams in the doorway. I'll just take you over to the doorway now just to show you the height. So obviously, to give you your step difference, that beam will be sat on there. That'll obviously give you your floor height then. So switch to selfie camera. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, he built all of this area up here all the way. He's going to come up now and just touch up with the last bit more we've got. But yeah, just give you an idea. That's how far into the step we'll be taking it, so it gives you some thought for what you're going to do with the doorway, whether you'll end up leveling it or not. But the camera will adjust. There you go. You can kind of see the height difference. So it'll be another 4 inches on that, and that's already a 4-inch step, so it might end up about a 30cm step, something like that, I think. We'll know more tomorrow. You'll get an idea tomorrow when we put these beams up, and you get to see it. Alright buddy, have a good evening. Hey Steve, how's it going mate? Just show you where we're up to right now. We got 4 beams in that, well 5 beams in, 4 rows of bricks in I should say that side. 4 rows of bricks in this side. So good morning so far. Good early afternoon. I'm going to go off and get some lunch now. Paul's going to bang the next 2 holes in that wall there for the next 2 beams, which should give us 2 more rows this side. We're going to try and see if we can get those in tonight, but it depends on how long it takes to get the holes to the depth and to the size and everything. So Paul's going to give me a ring in the next couple of hours. We've agreed that if I can be back here by 5 and we're ready, we'll start putting those 2 beams in tonight, and that'll give us about a 7 o'clock finish. If it goes much past 5 o'clock before he's ready, what Paul will do is fill some of these holes that we've already put the beams into but need stones chinking around it. there's a bit of mortar he needs to do behind that back edge all the way to stop cement running out. So even if we don't get the 2 beams in this evening, if it gets close to 5 o'clock, Paul will probably tickle on and do a little bit more of that kind of thing, and then I'll just come back tomorrow then, as and when we need it, because 2 people can't really make use of a drill and putting holes in the wall, so it's a bit of a waste of time. So we've been doing it like that. Anyway, thought I'd just give you a rundown on how it is right now, and I'll send you another message tonight if we get the next 2 in. If not, you'll see me tomorrow morning. Just another bit of detail that we wanted to give you as well. When Paul knocks the holes into the wall, he's also rebuilding all the back of the wall up. Some of them not other than wedge rocks in, but a few of them are requiring a lot of rebuild on the inside as well to keep the wall nice and sturdy. So anyway, mate, we're getting there. We're really getting there now. A lot of flooring coming through. Cool. How's it going, Steve? So pretty much used all the blocks down the side there. Got a few left obviously for the next couple of beams. All of our end cuts of beams and such things that we've cut out the way. So yeah, just take you inside now and give you a bit of a look around. So 3 beams left to go up. Obviously this is pretty much everything now for today. Paul's going to stay and just fill up that hole, but not going to stay too crazy late because it's bank holiday Friday tomorrow, which means all the shops are closed. So we've both got to go and do our food shopping because it's bank holiday Friday and Monday this week coming, and then it's bank holiday Thursday. So yeah, obviously because of the disrupt, we are going to have the day off tomorrow. Anyway, really good, mate. Really good, like 95% of the way there. So I'll just run you through the few things that are left to do. We've got to cut bricks to go in each one of those bigger holes. We'll have a cut brick in all the way. Okay. So each one of those bigger holes will have a cut brick. We've got one more concrete beam to put alongside that one, which will fit the 30cm bricks. Videos are never long enough, but I like doing on WhatsApp because it doesn't save to my phone. So yeah, we've got one more beam that will go in alongside that beam there. And we'll put 30cm Aberdelias, the same as what we use for your steps, essentially, because they're slightly too big to fit in that gap. But obviously we would have had a massive gap at the edge of the stairs, so we've chose the wall is the best place to hide the difference. And obviously once it's all rendered and concreted, you wouldn't know there was a difference anyway. So there's a beam left to go in there. That fills that gap, so that would be that area completely done. we've got 2 beams left to go in there. So that'll then be that area completely done. Like I said, we've got the holes at the bottom here to fill. Then Paul will get on with filling in these holes because he gets here earlier than me, because obviously I'm farming, so 10 o'clock most mornings. Some mornings a little earlier, some mornings later. Anyway, he's going to fill all the holes in, doing that on the downtime. We're going to put some rebar in here and concrete up to the same level as the bricks, just so it's taking a lot of the stress off the 2 lintels that are down below, because obviously there's more windows downstairs. Same for that one there. And then, yeah, super close, mate, super close. So I think we worked out that there's roughly about 3 days left to get the floor finished off. Filling those holes in was one. Filling these gaps in on the steel was the other. Putting that beam in. Putting those 2 beams in. We can finally then trim the very edge off that bit of steel and get... Good midday. How's it going, mate? Just to let you know. Stuff in instead. I'm working out these last couple of beams. So as you can see, we'll have a skinny row of bricks there. Unfortunately, so far it doesn't do in between the 50 centres and the 30 centres. They don't do a 40 centre, which is a shame because that beam ended up being a 40 centimetre gap. So yeah, we're having to run these 30s, and then there's more or less a 10 centimetre gap there running all the way down. So we'll just backfill that with concrete. We'll shutter underneath it and concrete it all in. But yeah, as you can see, we got those other 2 beams in instead yesterday, and went that way about it. Paul also took along all the plaster ready for concreting. He got all the plaster off the wall on the back there. So today we're going to fill in these window lintels that you can see back there. That's one of the next things. Paul's just filling in the holes now for the last few beams we put in. So I'm just filling all of the last of the cut blocks at the end here. So I've got to do a load of cut blocks. So I've just got myself set up to do a load of cut blocks. But just remember, I haven't sent you a video yesterday evening and today, just to let you know what's going on. Paul's also gone around all the edges. He hasn't done these 2 yet because he's got that hole, but he's been going around all the edges everywhere, filling in with mortar ready so we don't lose all of our cement. How's it going, Steve? Don't know how much you can hear me over the cutting, but yep, obviously this gap in the middle of the beams blocked off, so everything's in now. Done all of the cut beams so the concrete can flow into the steel itself. So obviously all this gap will fill with concrete, so done the cut beams all the way along. Dropped obviously rebar in there and cast that one as well. All of the holes underneath are finished, so that's all the block and beam. Paul's just cutting these last 2 now. I've got to leave. It's coming up to 4:45, so I'm leaving late. So I'm going to get told off by the bus lady, but who cares, eh? Who cares? Anyway, just want to let you see, all underneath now, all looking good. Just that one there, which Paul's taking care of now with the last hour of the day. So yeah, we haven't tackled this yet today, but this is our project for tomorrow now. So the project for tomorrow, as you can see, we got the beam in, tied those together. So the project tomorrow now is pull all of the mud off here, point it up as much as possible, let that set off, and then concrete that corner up. Go around and fill all the edge gaps everywhere that still need to be filled to make sure concrete doesn't start falling down when we begin casting. And that we'll see Thursday. And then Friday, the last thing for us to do on Friday is, now that we've done all the heavy work and we're not at risk of chipping all of this, we can now do the finished layer on each one of the steps to get them to that millimetre perfect height for you. So that's going to be Friday's job.
Hi folks, back in England, as you can gather by now. So we're having to get on with some England projects, or to continue with them. Let me just show you what I've been doing. Well, we've had a constructive day today. Managed to get all that row of slabs up that was along the back here, all dug over, broken down a bit. Same on the front here. I've dragged them flagstones forward so that they all run in line there. Edge of what's going to be the lawn. I'll still have to set them in a bit better, but at least we've got a nice line there. Yeah, all in all, we've had a good day's work doing that. Cass has been busy painting in the house, and also we've been sorting some flowers out and bits and bobs. We've got a couple of salix which she bought the other day from the garden centre. We've got them nicely potted up. We've been switching pots around because she wants various ones for different jobs. The other day I had to take that one out of the pot and find a home for it, and we've decided this is where it's going to stay. It'll take 20 years to grow. It's 1 metre high but 1 metre across, so it'll see me out, I think. Turned a bit nippy today. That rain that's been promised all week, well, for all of this week, hasn't turned up yet, but I suspect it's coming. Not that I'm worried, because all the plants need a drink and the water tubs are empty as well, so I should be quite happy if we see a bit. But that'll do for today. Right, back in England projects, we're trying to lay out the lawn, or what will be the lawn. It was going to be artificial, but we've gone for the real thing to start with, because it could be quite a while before we decide exactly what we're doing, and I don't want to just be looking at muck and weeds for the rest of the summer. So we are going to try, and I've got my buckets out because to do for some rain, and the water butts are nearly empty, but that ain't stopping me getting on in this little bit. We'll try and get them slabs up that end there and get all of this area dug and raked over a bit more before we get the roller out. Today we've got to try and get this lawn sorted out. I've made my mind up that I am going to lawn it. A lot of scraping and rolling to do today. Morning, Kaz.
Morning.
We're trying to do this lawn. Now I'm heading back to Portugal in May. We're now near the end of April. In fact, 4 days since my birthday. So I've got to try and get back to Portugal. I've got it booked in. But before then I'm trying to get the lawn laid. And I've done some in the past, and they've been alright. I don't kid myself that I'm a brilliant lawn layer, but I've decided I'm going to try and get this one a bit flatter. So what I've decided to do is just put some guides down there and then just run my measure up and down. So it's going to take a while because I've just got to work along there and then try and do the same back this way. I don't know whether it's that critical or not, but I think if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well, because I don't know if I've always said that I was going to lay this to artificial lawn to save me cutting the lawn. Now I'm getting of that certain age and we're trying to make the job easier, but if we can get the lawn laid neat and flat, we'll see how long it takes to actually cut it once it's grown and sorted. And if it ain't too much of a job, might not bother replacing it with artificial. That's something for the future. So I've decided that rather than looking at this mucky brown, we might as well look at some green, haven't we? Right, an hour later I've got the next section done. Now those two, to be fair, they do look quite level, don't they? So I'm going to persevere with this for a bit longer, unless I really get fed up with it, because it's not in too bad a nick, but I don't have to revisit this job again or moan about it later on, so I've spent more time prepping it. We should benefit by a better lawn. Right, this one went a bit quicker, but we've now got 3 done, and that's prepped for the next one. Quite pleased with the way it's going actually. Not got bored with it yet. Just stopped for dinner. Just on to the last one down this stretch, and then after dinner we'll see how much of that I can get done. Kaz has brought some washing home, so I don't know whether that's going to get me away or not. Well, end of play, or just about, or nearly tea time I should say, on the Saturday night. Got another day on this, or a reasonable amount of the day. Got it levelled about as much as I can do now. The rest I'm going to leave to the nature. First thing Sunday morning, we've got the seed sown. Now I'll gently rake it over the top. Come to the package. Then we'll see where that leaves us. Well, I can't see in the sun, but there's actually, we've got the majority of it covered. Managed to find some netting, try and keep the birds out. There's a little bit on the front end here, but we've deliberately done it, covered the far end, because we can keep our eye on this end a bit more. We can soon get out to scare them if we see them, but just needs a watering, and then we'll leave nature to sort itself out. Right, let's have a drink. Now that's all I can do, give it a drink and see what happens.